Thank God it's Monday. You know what? This is not just a phrase, this is a reality. Mondays can be great if they're with God. Mondays can be horrible, but Mondays can be great if they are with God. And here I am to talk to you about a little bit about the sermon of yesterday and then how to apply it to every day of this week, especially if you're in a Connect group, which we have every week all around Zurich. And if you want to be part of a Connect group, then use one of the links below to get in touch. Okay, the sermon was on temptations. And here is the reality. We are real people, real human beings with real weaknesses. And so we will get tempted. Now, Jesus does not say, oh, in that case, no big deal. Everybody gets tempted. He got tempted too, right? But he withstood. He was able to overcome. Real faith will make you an overcomer. Temptations are a real issue. That was my first point. Because Jesus, in talking about temptations, does not use language like when people slip or when people, make little mistakes. He uses quite strong language. Matthew 18, verse 6. Whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a great millstone fastened around his neck and to be drowned in the depth of the sea. Well, what's the option to be not drowning in the sea if you've made somebody to fall into sin? Well, you would have to face the anger of God. So that's why it's better to actually drown in the depths of the sea. So Jesus is not mincing words here. He's like, temptation is an issue. It's a real problem. Now, the next thing that he says is, though, that they actually have a cause. They actually have a purpose. It is necessary that temptations come. Now, why would it be necessary? Well, how can you grow in obedience if you actually have a choice? Temptations came to Jesus and he was obedient to God. He was able to withstand them. That's the purpose of the temptation, that you actually have a willful choice to grow in your obedience and your maturity to God. How? Well, number one, temptations, they will reveal a deeper desire that often is actually good, right? If somebody gets really angry and like wrathful even because they've been treated badly, maybe the desire is actually for justice. Now, they also reveal a lie. The lie is, in that case, maybe, I have to fight for my own justice. Nobody else fights for me. If you've been believing a lie, it's actually great to counter it with the truth. Justice is God's business. Or if it's a gluttony issue that I can relate with, I don't look that way maybe, but honestly, overeating a little bit, drinking a little bit too much, watching a little bit too much, going a little bit too further, in always ingesting happiness, right? It's a drive towards happiness. And the lie that sometimes I have been believing is that happiness is an outside job. It's what you get in you that will make you happy. And the truth that counters it is happiness comes from the inside. Happiness is an inside job. God can make you inside yourself so sustained and so happy, you actually don't need all that stuff. So temptations must come because they give a chance for real obedience. They reveal our deeper desires. And they come from a lie that you can counter. Now, having said that, sometimes you live with something that tempts you all the time. It can be that temptations are so close and so part of you that you don't even notice anymore. So Jesus uses it as a language of cutting off stuff. And this is really not literal, because when he says, if your hand causes you to sin, chop it off, you can still sin with the other hand. You can sin with your heart. You would actually need a heart transplant. That actually happens at the cross. That's the good news, right? But here's the language that he uses. If your hand or your foot causes you to sin, cut it off, throw it away. Like, why? Well, it's better for you to enter life crippled or lame than with 2 hands or 2 feet to be thrown into the eternal fire. Whoa, right? Jesus is basically saying, do you want to get half into heaven or fully into hell? Like, if you have a choice, where would you go, right? Why is he saying that? Is it not like one time saved, everyone, like, once saved, always saved? Well, yes, if you stay in faith, right? Falling into sin is not the cause to lose your salvation, but losing your faith could be. Now, people sometimes, when they get tempted over and over and they always fall, they never give in, slowly they actually lose their faith. And I've seen people turn away from God because they never fought temptation. Oscar Wilde says, you know, I can fight everything but temptation. Well, resist the devil. That's a lie. You and I, we can fight temptation. We might be weak, but the Spirit is strong. God has given you a way out, which is radical, which actually needs faith. You need to see the life that you can enter in if you cut off what actually could cost you and it could be painful, but in the end, it enters life, right? There might be something in your marriage that is killing your marriage, that has started as a good thing, and now it's actually a bad thing. Or there might be something that is killing your health, and you've been letting it just being part of your normal daily routine. Cut it off. Even though those things become second nature to us, you don't need them. Life is more important than this. So in your Connect group, why don't you discuss this? Is there a temptation that you've been giving in lately, repeatedly? Is there a lie that you have been believing? Try to identify this lie together and then counter it with the truth of God. Fight for each other's life. Let's be the ones that actually hold up each other instead of the ones that make each other stumble. All right? God bless you. Have a wonderful week.